evening to all. Today we are going to present about the Laurus case study. I will start by presenting my team members who are Angela Valadon, Karen Figaro, Saina Naga, and myself, Anshta Zawai. I will start with a brief overview of the case study, which is about Laurus Mining Limited. It is a gold mining and exploration company, and they have decided to move its operations in Africa. However, the case presents about 3 different issues that the companies are facing, which we will further develop in our presentation. First of all, we have to identify the theories that companies have to refuse in for the betterment of the company. Theories at individual level include the management styles. For example, in an organization, management styles will reflect the culture and the values of the company. A good manager will help in organizing the company's resources as efficiently as possible to meet business needs and objectives. Leading by example is also another individual level theory. This should be the very motto of each and every manager. Promoting leadership skills will help our subordinates take initiatives towards the success of the organization. Entrepreneur having good entrepreneurial skills will enhance the success of the company, and not only this will affect also stakeholders as well as shareholders of the company, because making profit is the main motive of a business. Now, theories at an organizational level. For example, we have noted a good ethical code of conduct in the organization. In case there are dilemmas, company can refer to this ethical code of conduct for solving all the issues that they are having. In this case study, for example, there we have seen issues of facilitation payments or even bribery. Also, another theory could be about the CSR activity. Companies should provide for a CSR budget in order to promote their reputation and goodwill. Also, corporate governance could include the CSR activities, how to manage the business as efficiently as possible while having the right procedures and policies to implement in the organization. Strategic level theories include management practices in the organization. For example, in the Laurus case, management has decided to outsource its business in Africa. Also, managing a diverse workforce is another strategic level theory. That is, managers need to be trained to work in a diverse environment so that there are no language problems and good communication channels are well established. Another strategic level theory is about global crisis management. For example, in the Laurus case, the company has decided to be able to stay on the global stock exchange. They have decided to move to Africa to maintain its profitability and stability of the business. Now we will move to the factors that should be addressed in the framework.
Thanks, Anshita. For this part, we will discuss about business ethics, strong ethical corporate cultures, CSR and sustainability, and local culture. In fact, doing business in Africa changed the whole process already implemented in Australia, since we have a different environment in Congo, and George, as being a manager, has to drive the process. He does not have to only focus on profitability but also on social and environmental issues. The local culture and custom has to be taken into consideration, since the background of the people, the level of education is different and has to be taken into consideration in the framework. We will proceed with points for the factors to be taken also based on PESTEL. PESTEL, that is political, economical, social, technological, environmental and legal. In fact, as mentioned in the case study, and also to annex cases, newspaper cuts that we have annexed to the case study, we can notice that facilitation payment are very frequent in Congo, since government officials are not well remunerated. They don't have the proper procedures to prevent those payments. So George has to be very aware of those issues and have to have proper channel to prevent those type of issues. Moreover, Laros Mining, being a listed company, has to take into consideration IFRS rule. That is, they have to be transparent in the way they report. For example, in the case study, it is mentioned that $100 is being paid has to be paid to someone for his petrol. As per our group, it has not to be. It is not to be considered to be bribery if it is clearly disclosed in the accounts of the company. So transparency will help definitely the company to put aside all the bribery and corruption issues. So having audit committees, internal audit, audited financial statement being audited by external party will help Laros to prevent those malpractices in Congo. So I will now leave the floor to Angela, who will continue on the case study. Thank you.
Thank you, Carmen. So we have discussed about how to structure the framework of this case study. First of all, there are issues that has arisen in the case, and we have to talk about the type of issues that have been arisen, that is bribery and corruption. And also there's an action plan that Sana will elaborate on. And also I will talk about the risk of ignoring those issues and evaluate the consequences of ignoring them. And also we will propose some solutions and strategies to you, and how to implement those actions, and some effects and benefits of the action taken. The different risks that we have seen in the case study are, first of all, the loss of experienced and skilled workers. That is when the company will go to Congo, there's the risk that the Australian workers do not want to join the team there. And also and if they don't join the team, there's the risk of having additional costs of recruiting and training new employees, which will also create costs of increasing cost of accommodation for those employees, as well as license for them. And there's the risk of tarnishing the corporate image of the firm when the public will discover about the different corruption form of the firm. And also there's technological shipment and health and safety issues that have arisen also. And the proposed solutions and strategies that we have seen are, first of all, to promote cross-border trade across Africa, to be able to compete globally. And also there are rewards and remunerated jobs, to motivate workers. And there's the fact that employers can provide free accommodation to the employees. And to promote culture and moral values within the organization, the firm can organize CSR activities to sensitize acts of good faith among those employees. And finally, there's the promotion of health insurance to all employees while enhancing security and safety. Now, Sinat will continue.
Thank you, Angela. Now let's talk about the implementation of the framework into the Laros Mining Limited. First of all, the framework should be easily accessible to everyone and easy to understand. Here we need to take note that there are two different countries, Australians who speak English and Congo people who speak a different language in Africa. Therefore, the framework should be available in both languages so that everyone can properly understand it and implement it in the day-to-day business. Secondly, the employees need to acknowledge the framework, having read and understood the framework by signing it. This will give them a sense of responsibility that they need to abide by the framework, come what may. And then, in order to develop the ethical culture in the organization, the company will have to provide training and workshops regularly to the employees. Fourthly, there should be, in order to allow an employee to report someone else who have acted unethically, it is important that the employee is provided a clear and anonymous channel of communication to the superiors so that they can report misdeeds by others. And also, as Anshita said, managers should lead by example. Therefore, managers need to imbibe the culture in themselves first and then lead the way to other employees. And then, whenever there is someone who has acted against the framework, it is very important to impose corrective measures on them so that to deter other employees from committing these acts of crime, you can say. Also, it is very important that we include an ethical standard aspect in the recruitment process of the organization. In that way, we won't take on unethical people and then have to train them up and make them ethical. It will reduce the cost and resources that the company will have to spend on training. Finally, we should keep the framework open for improvement. Nothing can be done perfect at one go. Therefore, it is important not to keep it rigid and allow it to develop whenever new circumstances occur. Now we will move on to the application on the specific issues. First of all, there is the issue of the funding of the school. It is important to realize that CSR is not bad in itself. It is not illegal as well. All companies have the right to indulge in CSR activities. Therefore, we need to make sure that the money that Belarus has spent in the building of the school doesn't go into the pocket of the mayor. And the mayor can be defined as a politically exposed person. These persons are inherently known to be associated with fraud and money laundering. Therefore, we should do our best to make sure, George should make sure that the money that is being funded into the school doesn't go into the pockets of the media. Finally, as Karen was saying, the company is undergoing some financial difficulties, and therefore it is important to make sure that it can afford such CSR. Now moving to the second issue, the facilitation payment of $100 to the person who will come and inspect the site, the mining site. Again, this is not a bribe. OECD has advised that facilitation payments in African countries are deemed to be the culture within that continent, and therefore should be accepted by all entities. However, it has also said that companies should make an effort to move away from such a practice. Also, we need to make sure that if ever we didn't give the $100 to the guy, we should make sure he doesn't give a negative report and then at the end of the day we didn't get the license to operate. Finally, we can request offshore receipts against the payment so that we can keep it on file and show that it's not bribery, it's again something, a material expenditure which can be backed by an official supporting document. And finally, we have to substantiate the $100. If the $100 refers to the expense that the official will spend on fuel to travel to and from the site, then it's fine. We can pay him the $100. And now finally, we can move to the last issue, which is the payment of $200 to the minister's individual bank account. First of all, this is seen to be an act of bribery because we are paying this amount straight into the bank account of the minister and not into the governmental account. Therefore, we should certainly seek legal advice because this case is very delicate in nature, and even consider whistleblowing to the relevant authorities. However, if we do not make the payment, and there's a possibility that we don't receive the permit, and hence we won't be able to do business. And without business, Laros dies. So I thank you for your attention.